America, before the first colonial footsteps touched its soil, was a vibrant and rich world. It was not just a land, but a colorful mosaic of countless indigenous tribes and nations. Each people, each civilization had its own way of life, creating a diverse symphony of languages, customs, and cultures. They lived in harmony with nature, not seeing the land or creatures as something to possess, but as companions in life. Nature, in their eyes, was spirit, the pulse of life, an inseparable part of their spiritual and religious lives. For thousands of years, indigenous cultures flourished, building complex social systems, deep spiritual values, and close relationships with their environment. These are invaluable legacies, not only for them but for all of humanity. However, the arrival of colonial powers changed everything. Along with ships, weapons, and ambition, they brought a wave of destruction. Cultures, knowledge, and millennia-old values were erased, leaving an unfillable void in human history. Before getting into the main topic, like and subscribe to the channel to learn more about mysterious things. 1. The lives and cultures of indigenous peoples. The lives of the indigenous peoples of America were a diverse journey, reflecting the richness of environments stretching from north to south. Each community, each region was its own story, written by a deep interaction with nature. In North America, the Lakota followed the bison herds, not just for hunting but to connect with a sacred source of life. They recognized the harmony between humans and animals, considering it the core of existence. In the Southwest, the Pueblo people built sustainable stone cities, blending into the arid deserts, where each structure was a tribute to the surrounding nature. In the Northeast, the Haudenosaunee, or the Iroquois Confederacy, founded one of the world's first democracies. They lived in strong communities, where the spirit of unity and communal governance were paramount. Moving to South America, the Tupi-Guarani saw nature as the embodiment of the divine. Every mountain, every river carried a story of ancestors, symbolizing soul and immortality. Farther north, in the Arctic, the Inuit were a testament to extraordinary adaptation. Amid the harsh cold, they maintained life, building culture and preserving traditions on the thick ice. Not only confined to individual cultures, the indigenous peoples created a vast trade network. Through trade routes, goods, ideas, and stories were exchanged, connecting distant lands. Despite differences in language, customs, or geography, they all shared a common philosophy, a deep respect for the interconnectedness of everything in the universe. It was not just how they lived, but also how they preserved and honored the world to which they belonged. 2. Social and political organization. The indigenous peoples of America not only created unique cultures but also developed complex social and political systems. These systems were designed to maintain order, balance power, and ensure community cohesion. The Haudenosaunee, or Iroquois Confederacy, is one of the most prominent examples. They operated a political system based on consensus, where every decision was carefully considered, not only for the present but also for its impact on the next 7 generations. It was a profound lesson in responsibility and long-term vision. In the Southwest, the Hopi lived in a decentralized society, where important decisions were guided by the wisdom of elders and spiritual guidance. For them, politics was not just management, but also harmony with the sacred world. The Lakota in Central America emphasized the role of councils. Decisions were made through the participation of many members of the community, ensuring representation and fairness for all. In the Northwest, the Tlingit and Haida organized their society according to clans, where each clan was responsible for managing resources and organizing important ceremonies. It was not only a form of governance but also a way to preserve identity and tradition. Although the social and political systems of each people differed, they all shared one thing in common: cooperation and interdependence. Decisions were often collective, shaped by spiritual philosophies and respect for nature. These systems not only ensured survival but also showed a timeless ingenuity in balancing centralized power and local autonomy, creating harmonious and sustainable societies. 3. Spiritual practices. For the indigenous peoples of America, spirituality was not just a belief, but a bridge between the physical and spiritual worlds. They considered everything in the universe, from land and trees to mountains and rivers, to be living, sacred entities, possessing a soul and deep interconnection. Ceremonies and festivals were their ways of expressing respect for the natural world and supernatural forces. The Lakota held the Sun Dance, a sacred ceremony that expressed sacrifice and reaffirmed their connection with the vast universe. The Hopi, with the Kachina festival, sent their thanks to nature and prayed for fertility and life to bloom everywhere. The Tupi-Guarani in South America turned to ayahuasca, a special herbal medicine, to expand their minds and connect with the gods. Meanwhile, the Haida used totem poles not just as symbols of culture but also as a living book, telling of ancestors and harmony with nature's forces. Spiritual ceremonies were not just limited to big festivals. They were present in every daily activity, from hunting to farming. Each action was associated with rituals, as a way to express respect for the sanctity of life. In particular, the role of shamans, those who connect between worlds, was indispensable. They were not only spiritual guides but also healers, using their deep knowledge of herbal medicine and spirituality to bring balance to humans and nature. For indigenous peoples, spirituality was not a separate aspect but breath, flow, the rhythm of life intertwined in every moment of their lives. 4. Philosophy of mutual support and interdependence. The indigenous people of America viewed the world as a vast network, where every creature and natural element was connected, supporting one another. This wasn't just a view but the core of their living philosophy, a deep awareness that the harmony of the whole depends on even the smallest of its pieces. The Lakota expressed this through the phrase Mitakiyoyasin, meaning all my relations. It's an affirmation that nothing exists in isolation, everything is linked, from humans and animals to plants, mountains, and rivers. For the Hopi, life could not be separate from nature. They lived based on cooperation with the land, wind, water, and sunlight, recognizing that each natural element is a companion, helping sustain life. Not only concerned with the present, indigenous peoples also carried a deep responsibility toward future generations. Every decision, whether large or small, had to consider its impact on those yet to be born. This philosophy ensured not only sustainability, but also showed a respect for the unending flow of life. In the community, no one was exempt from responsibility. Everyone had their role, from caring for the land and protecting resources, to preserving culture. This sharing of responsibility was the basis for maintaining community life, where each individual contributed to the overall picture. The indigenous people's philosophy of mutual support and interdependence was a reminder that we do not live only for ourselves, but for everything that exists around us, in the present, past, and future. The teachings of the indigenous peoples not only belong to the past but also carry valuable lessons for the present. In today's volatile world, the philosophy of harmony with nature, respect for all living things, and responsibility to future generations are the guiding principles we must not ignore. This is the time we need to awaken. Awaken to realize that we are not alone, but a part of the vast network that connects all life. Awaken to understand that our existence depends on caring for and protecting this planet. Only when we recognize that connection can we work together toward a sustainable future, where humans and nature exist in harmony. 5. Loss and resistance. The indigenous peoples of America always saw the world as a giant web, where all living beings and natural elements are connected, supporting each other. This was not just a way of seeing but was the core of their life philosophy, a deep awareness that the harmony of the whole depends on each of its smallest pieces. The Lakota expressed this through the phrase Mitakiyoyasin, meaning all my relations. It is an affirmation that nothing exists in isolation, that everything is connected, from humans and animals to plants, mountains, and rivers. For the Hopi, life cannot be separated from nature. They live based on cooperation with the land, wind, water, and sunlight, recognizing that each natural element is a companion, helping to sustain life. Not only concerned with the present, Indigenous peoples also carry a deep responsibility towards future generations. Every decision, whether large or small, has to consider its impact on those not yet born. This philosophy not only ensures sustainability, but also shows respect for the endless flow of life. In the community, no one is exempt from responsibility. Everyone has their own role, from caring for the land and protecting resources to preserving culture. This sharing of responsibility is the foundation for maintaining community life, where each individual contributes to the overall picture. The philosophy of mutual support and interdependence of the Indigenous peoples is a reminder that we do not live only for ourselves, but also for all that exists around us in the present, past, and future. The teachings of the Indigenous peoples do not only belong to the past but also carry valuable lessons for the present. In the modern, volatile world, the philosophy of harmony with nature, respect for all living beings, and responsibility to future generations are the guiding principles that we cannot ignore. This is the time that we need to awaken. Awaken to realize that we do not stand alone, but are a part of a vast network that connects all life. Awaken to understand that our existence depends on caring for and protecting this planet. Only when we recognize that connection can we together strive for a sustainable future, where people and nature exist in harmony.